Mississippi.
I didn't realize my mic was on mute. What's up, everybody?
They broke the chains, but I walked out free. Every scar they carved just empowered me. 2017, Lafayette's chokehold grip. Sheriff's badge turned to a power trip. Mississippi flag in my righteous hand. Public sidewalk where free citizens stand. Timmy Pruitt rolled up with manufactured rage. No permit, lies wrapped me in a cage. Asked for his badge number, exercise my right. They cuffed me up in broad Mississippi daylight. Video went viral, whole county shook. They fired back with a felony book. False stalking charge, legal masquerade. All to indemnify the mess they made. 2018, November's bitter frost. Lizzie Crowder, weaponized what mattered most. Filed false rape, turned love to a courtroom game. 2 years grinding through manufactured shame. 2020 she pled out, escaped the cell. Paid her fine while my world went to hell. Support for Lydia suddenly flipped and betrayed. 4 years lost,
up,
no father-daughter serenade. No bedtime stories, no calls relayed. Just silence where our laughter used to cascade. December 2021, the storm returned. Alcorns ripped while Lafayette bridges burned. Joey East crew snatched me ice cold. No evaluation, no facts, no lawful hold. Tupelo's walls, padded bed confinement. North Miss meds clouding my mental alignment. February 22, they came once more. Alcorns fabrications walked through the door. Newborn son in the ER sacred light. They cuffed me up, stole that holy night. 7 days in solitary's concrete cave. Then East Miss pharmaceuticals to enslave. June 2022, walked through the hall. Oxford City standing dignified and tall. Camera rolling, made a clerk request. Public records, constitutional quest. But they twisted it, spun their narrative line. Mayor claimed fear to blur the constitutional line. Dusted off that restraining order from 17. Weaponized fresh for a felony scene. Charged with stalking for walking through City Hall. For asking questions, for standing up tall. October 22, I fought the machine again. Marched the FBI, laid truth before federal men. Oxford office, evidence carefully laid. But Beavers and Kilpatrick sharpened their blade. November 1st, revoked my parole. November 3rd, they swallowed me whole. Kilpatrick campaign, riding on my back. Used my persecution to advance her political track. Prison walls, months carved in stone. Paid the price, stood defiant alone. August 23, Galveston, suffocating heat. Journalist on assignment, working the street. Allstein's traffic stop, perfectly staged night. False default, we had charged, no sobriety test in sight. 11 months buried, holding my breath. Extradited back to face judicial death. July 24, kangaroo court show. 2-year sentence with zero proof to show. But January 25, post-conviction win. January 22nd, I walk free again. February 1st, Utah's deceptive call. Latent ground, but predatory eyes on all. Sesams reached across state lines, spinning webs with defamatory signs. Rich and spread poison wide. Roaring 39 names caught in their slanderous tide. Orrington blocked, grammar's light. Layton City officials dim constitutional sight. March 28th, I dialed that phone. City Hall reception, cold as stone. March 31st, face federal walls. Salt Lake City, where justice calls. They demanded ID, background inspection. I said no. Constitutional protection took my place. Circle my car, still went live, raised awareness far. But the cruelest wound that still remains, Crowder's war, these invisible chains. Lydia's voice, 4 years stolen away. No good night hugs, no Father's Day. Mother and daughter separated by lies. While I break through these core-constructed skies. Filed lawsuits, align the names. Sesams, McCutcheon, their corruption games. Arrington Shield, Layton's wall. Oxford's influence, spanning it all. For Lydia's future, for truth's bright flame. For everything stolen, for clearing my name. This is the anthem, the reckoning beat. Stripped to silence, back on my feet. This ain't over, this is the ascension. Next verse I drop breaks through that dimension. From Lafayette's mud to Galveston's bars, to Layton's walls and federal scar. Yes, I'm the voice, They tried to silence through fear, but I'm amplified now. Crystal clear.
Every wrong you set in flight. You thought the system was your puppet. Thought the court would never see. But baby, truth's a storm you can't outrun, and it's rushing in on me. You played judge, you played executioner. You stole the years I can't reclaim.
Hey, can y'all hear me? You get sound? Hey, what's up, man? Hey, so I had to come back. I wasn't satisfied with the answers to the questions that I got last night.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you have a supervisor here?
I do.
Can I speak to him?
Sure. Well, what do you need from him?
Well, I need to ask some questions.
What questions?
Some questions. Well, it's about Leroy Truth, about the attack that happened on Leroy Truth on June the 9th, 2025.
Yes, like I explained to you yesterday,
Yeah.
you have to speak to the public information.
Okay, well, if the public information officer's not here, I want to speak to somebody else. So it's your job as a public servant to get me somebody to speak with if you're not going to talk to me about those. So you can either call the your public information officer up here, or you can get a supervisor, but I'm not leaving this lobby until I get the answers to these questions.
Okay, no problem. So I'll get the supervisor because he's gonna tell you the same exact thing.
That'll work.
All right.
All right. So, there's been a big influx of violence being used against citizens, particularly journalists, here over the past few months with law enforcement. You've got what happened right here with Leroy Truth on June 9th of this year in regards to Mayor and Senator Brian Stack allegedly ordering his campaign workers, thugs, and volunteers to violently attack Leroy Truth. Officer, were you there on June 9th, 2025 when Leroy Truth was assaulted?
No, I was probably off that day.
It was, well, the reason is the entire police department wasn't there. They just basically stood down. So I want to find out exactly why it was the police department stood down when the journalist was attacked. Okay. Hey, how you doing? So I'm trying to find out, there's been an influx in violence against journalists around the country. I'm sure you're aware of the Long Island audit thing that happened about, over the last month. And then I'm sure you're also aware of Leroy Truth back on June the 9th of this year, where he was assaulted and dragged out of an event that was had to do with Mayor and Senator Brian Stack. So I'm trying to find the answers to some questions. And I can sit in this lobby however long and ask these questions. Just ask everybody that comes in and out, because it's my right under the First Amendment to actually get to the bottom of this. I shouldn't have to wait on a press officer to speak with me about this. Were the Union City Police instructed by Chief Anthony Ficini or Captain Michael Bergbauer to stand down and allow this mob attack?
Just look what my officer said. I don't know anything about that. You have to either speak to our press officer, or you can get an open request form and records.
So either can you call and get your press officer up here today, or how about Police Chief Anthony Ficini? I would actually be fine with him coming up here.
Today is Sunday. They're off.
But he works around the clock. He's 24/7.
They're off today.
Can you pick up the phone and call him?
No one cannot.
I need you to please call him. I need you to call the
You can
police
stay here all
chief.
day if you want to. I'm not gonna call him. It's his day off. He comes in Monday through Friday.
Okay. Well, I'm going to ask every officer that comes in about this, and I know you're going to go ahead and call across there and tell every one of them not to talk to me, because that's probably the typical, silence the government critics, silence the journalists. But at the end of the day, the more y'all do that, the longer I sit here, and then anybody else coming in off the street gets to hear it, and gets to see it, as well as more people online are getting to see it. So it's very simple questions that y'all can just simply answer for me. All you have to do is just give me the answers to some questions, and I'll be on my way.
No problem. Feel free to stay here.
Okay. All right. Can I get your name, badge number?
Sergeant Baristo 414.
Sergeant Baristo,
414.
414. Okay. All right. So here are the questions that I've got that I want to get answered in all of this. Okay. Why has there been no investigation or arrest into those responsible for the pre-planned violent assault? Okay. There's been a common pattern that's happened around the country. It happened right here first, June 9th, 2025 with Leroy Truth. It happened July the 3rd outside of the governor's mansion with me. And it happened less than a week later up in Groton, Connecticut with Sean Paul Reyes with Long Island Audit. You notice the commonality that's happened right here. There's been zero accountability, zero responsibility, zero arrest made in the attackers that have violated these journalists' rights and openly using violence against them. But it's rules for thee and not for me, is what it comes down to when it's law enforcement. This has been an epidemic cancer around the country, that there's zero accountability. So, why do the Union City Police continue to protect political operatives instead of citizens when crimes are committed by those connected to Brian Stack? That question can be asked across the board of any attack when it comes to violence being used against dissent, those that speak out against power. The political operatives are always the ones to be protected. Does law enforcement here in Union City condone politically motivated violence against journalists and independent media? Do you, law enforcement officers, condone politically motivated violence against journalists and independent media? On July 16, 2024, why was Leroy Truth unlawfully arrested during his public comment at the Union City Board of Commissioners meeting simply for speaking words Brian Stack didn't like? Who gave the order to arrest him? Was it Mayor Brian Stack directly? On February 20th, 2025, at the New Jersey Senate Judiciary Committee hearing in Trenton, why did state troopers violently drag Leroy Truth out while he was peacefully seated at a desk, speaking during public comment? Did Union City officials or Brian Stack lobby for this violent removal? Are you aware, or do you even care, that Leroy Truth was injured and sent to the ER that day? Why did Governor Phil Murphy, Brian Stack, and Jim McGreevey allegedly order that Leroy Truth be ripped out of a church pew while praying during the January 26, 2025 service at Monumental Baptist Church in Jersey City? Do you consider prayer inside a church to be grounds for physical removal without warning? Why was there no legal basis for his removal? No arrests, no charges. Why has Union City Police failed to investigate or act on over 41 attacks on Leroy Truth since he began investigating corruption on December 1st, 2023? Why are whistleblowers and journalists, the very people exposing corruption, being targeted, harassed, and assaulted while those committing crimes for Brian Stack are shielded? So you're just watching TV. You're on the taxpayer dime, and you're just watching TV. I can hear it playing through the class right now. Turn that shit off. If your chief decides to tune in, if y'all called this over for Chief Anthony Faccini, and if he's tuning in, Chief Faccini, why did you flee the scene on March 9th, 2024, when Commissioner Wendy Gruen allegedly led a riot against Leroy Truth instead of protecting him? Are you prepared to answer for your role in failing to protect a journalist, as documented on video multiple times? I'm vindicated, liberated, and of course I'm elated. How many orders have you carried out that came directly from Brian Stack, even when those orders violated the First Amendment and state law? That can be asked of every law enforcement officer in here, not just the police chief. We the People News will be at Union City's National Night Out on August 5th, 2025, alongside Leroy Truth's undercover team. Is every officer here prepared to be questioned on camera about those attacks and violations?
Madeline, you walking Liz Crowder's path now, turning love into a weapon.
Do you intend to continue protecting Mayor Stack's criminal machine? Or will you finally stand with the people of Union City who are demanding justice and truth?
Another day away, 2 weeks waiting and still no embrace. But Madeline's out there giving love away. County got her strings like a puppet on stage, knowing just how to hit me, keep me trapped in a cage. Through my kids she controls, manipulates, deceives. Every promise just fades, trust dies while I grieve.
Captain Bergbauer, why were you present during Stack's June 9th, 2025 mob attack on Leroy Truth and did nothing to stop it?
Twist up the truth, keeping kids silent, ripping out roots, and every night another man.
Yeah, you're getting a lot of calls in now, huh? Bunch of concerned citizens of you not doing your job and not answering questions. They don't want to answer the phone because y'all are letting the phone ring like crazy, like you should. Redress them. When they don't want to answer to the public, a liaison to the public needs to let their voices be heard. I'm at the Union City Police Department. Union City, New Jersey. Keep those phones ringing. This should be a reminder that you can't duck responsibility and accountability. The questions will keep coming.
behind, there's nothing left to lose. And that makes me your greatest gift.
Sir, do you have an emergency? Send emergency line.
Huh?
Okay, I'll do that. Man, you saw us from
Do what?
What's up, man?
Man, you saw us. Thank you.
Got a bunch of people watching you right now, man. Keep it ringing. You know, be peaceful in your message, because my message has always been peaceful. But exercise your right to redress, because that's one thing that I feel like has not been a big enough reminder of accountability. Is the right of redress. Yeah, don't obstruct. Don't say anything unpeaceful. But if you believe that those questions need to be answered, we the people have the right to redress our grievances with our public officials. Okay, not answering any questions, but yet they try to. There's this expectation in their mind that we have to answer their questions. Okay, there's a level of accountability that must be had, especially when violence is being used against journalists, against free citizens, and nothing is being done about this violence that's being used unnecessarily. So I'm well within my rights under the First Amendment. I haven't called for anything that is illegal, anything that's no. Peacefully exercise your rights and hold those in power accountable, especially when things like this are going on. All right.